Number 1. Punches exercise is a form of cardiovascular exercise that involves throwing punches with your fists. It is commonly used in boxing training and can also be incorporated into other fitness routines. The exercise involves standing in a fighting stance and throwing punches at a target, such as a punching bag or shadowbox. Different types of punches can be used, including jabs, crosses, hooks, and uppercuts. Punches exercise can provide a full-body workout, as it engages the arms, shoulders, chest, back, and core muscles. It can improve cardiovascular endurance and coordination. It is important to learn proper form and technique before starting punches exercise, as improper form can lead to injury. It is also important to warm up properly and wear appropriate protective gear, such as gloves and hand wraps. Number 2. The alternate bicep curl is a strength training exercise that primarily targets the bicep muscles in the arms. To perform this exercise, you will need a pair of dumbbells. To start, stand with your feet shoulder width apart and hold a dumbbell in each hand with your palms facing forward. Keep your elbows close to your sides and slowly curl one dumbbell up towards your shoulder, while keeping your wrist straight. Pause for a moment at the top, then slowly lower the weight back down to the starting position. Repeat the movement with the other arm. Alternate bicep curls can be done for multiple sets and repetitions, with a rest period in between sets. This exercise can help build strength and definition in the biceps, as well as improve grip strength. It is important to use proper form when performing alternate bicep curls, and to avoid swinging the weights or using momentum to lift them. You should also start with lighter weights and gradually increase as you build strength. Bent over rows are a strength training exercise that primarily targets the muscles in the back, as well as the biceps and shoulders. This exercise can be done with either a barbell or dumbbells. To perform bent over rows with a barbell, start by standing with your feet shoulder width apart and holding the barbell with an overhand grip. Bend forward at the waist, keeping your back straight and your core engaged, until your torso is parallel. Slowly lift the barbell towards your chest, squeezing your shoulder blades together at the top of the movement, then lower the weight back down to the starting position. To perform bent over rows with dumbbells, start by holding a dumbbell in each hand and bending forward at the waist with your back straight. Lift the dumbbells towards your chest, keeping your elbows close to your sides and squeezing your shoulder blades together at the top of the movement, then lower the weights back down to the starting position. Bent over rows can be done for multiple sets and repetitions, with a rest period in between sets. This exercise can help build strength and definition in the back muscles, as well as improve posture and stability. It is important to use proper form when performing bent over rows, and to avoid rounding your back. You should also start with lighter weights and gradually increase as you build strength. 4. Goblet squats are a strength training exercise that primarily targets the muscles in the lower body, including the quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and calves. This exercise can be done with a dumbbell, kettlebell, or any other type of weight that can be held with both hands. To perform goblet squats, start by holding the weight close to your chest hands, with your elbows pointed down towards the ground. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart and toes pointed slightly outward. Lower your body into a squat by bending at the knees and hips, while keeping your chest up and your back straight. Make sure your knees track over your toes and your thighs are parallel to the ground. Pause at the bottom of the movement, then push through your heels to return to the starting position. Goblet squats can be done for multiple sets and repetitions, with a rest period in between sets. This exercise can help build strength and endurance in the lower body muscles, as well as improve overall balance. It is important to use proper form when performing goblet squats, and to avoid letting your knees collapse inward or rounding your back. You should also start with a lighter weight and gradually increase as you build strength and become more comfortable with the movement. Number 5. Calf raises are a strength training exercise that primarily targets the muscles in the calves. This exercise can be done with body weight, or with added resistance using dumbbells or a machine. To perform raises, start by standing with your feet shoulder-width apart and your hands on your hips or holding weights. Lift your heels off the ground by pushing through the balls of your feet until you are standing on your toes. Pause for a moment at the top of the movement, then slowly lower your heels back down to the ground. Calf raises can be done for multiple sets and repetitions, with a rest period in between sets. This exercise can help build strength and definition in the calf muscles, as well as improve balance and stability. Variations of calf raises include form, which allows for a greater range of motion and more stretch in the calves. This can be done with body weight or with added resistance using weights. It is important to use proper form when performing calf raises, and to avoid locking out your knees at the top of the movement or allowing your ankles to roll inward or outward. You should also start with a lower number of repetitions and gradually increase as you build strength.